I'm joined by George Birnbaum, the former Chief of Staff and Advisor to Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me. He joins me live from Washington. Sir, your opening comments to what's going to happen in Sharm el-Sheikh and as the day passed today, sir.
It's been a very emotional day for the Israeli people and for Jewish people around the world. We brought home 20 of our live hostages, and we're still waiting for Hamas to keep their side of the deal to bring home the remaining dead hostages. They cannot play this game. Their time has run out. And while we're celebrating the return of the 20 hostages, we're still waiting with anticipation for the other 28. We will not forget them. We will not let Hamas play games with them. Having said that, today, we start tonight the Jewish holiday of Shmini Atzeret and Simchat Torah, which is to the day that October 7th massacre happened. And I think all Jews in synagogues and in their homes over the next 24, 48 hours will be saying special prayers, thanking God, thanking the Israeli government, and most importantly, thanking Donald Trump for allowing us to celebrate the return of all our live hostages.
The bigger question here is that the objectives in terms of security have been achieved, but has the special operation in Gaza been able to achieve the larger political objective, that is to ensure peace in the region?
When we spoke a few weeks ago, and we talked about peace, and as some of your guests have previously mentioned, peace is not achieved through the signing of a document. It's not just achieved through the laying down of arms. It's achieved by recognition of someone's right to exist. And that is still yet something we have to hear from the Palestinian leadership. As your previous guests have stated, they still teach the hatred of Jews, the demonization of Jews. They glorify the killing of Jews. They pay the families of those that kill Jews. Until that mentality stops, until that mentality is eradicated, peace is going to be very, very elusive, long-term peace. Although, I will say that one of the fundamental philosophies of Prime Minister Netanyahu is based on a 18th century Prussian philosopher named Immanuel Kant, who wrote an essay called Perpetual Peace, in which he proffered that if you're not making peace between democracies, if you're making peace between a democracy and a dictatorship, and in this case, a terror organization, you have to have external efforts and forces to maintain the peace. And as we spoke last time, Donald Trump has done a magnificent job of bringing the Islamic and Muslim world together, whether it be Saudi Arabia or Qatar, the UAE, Egypt, and others, to tell the Palestinians, this is your last chance, and we're going to enforce the peace. As long as the Islamic and Muslim countries in the Middle East are committed to enforcing a peace, then the prospects of a lasting peace increase. But it will only really end as soon as the Palestinians say the Jews have a right to exist, they have a right to exist in the land of Israel, and we're going to stop teaching the hatred and demonization and glorification of the murder of Jews.
George, it's also incumbent on one more thing. India deals with it. Our ability to change the behavior of Pakistan can lead to peace. But it's difficult to do so because the nature of the Pakistani state doesn't change because it's run by the Pakistani army. How much do you think that the war which Israel has fought has been able to change the nature of the Iranian state, which has been sponsoring these non-state actors around Israel? Because that's where the peace would be incumbent, because ultimately they were financing it, nurturing it, preparing them from Yemen to Lebanon.
100%. And let's make a distinction, of course, between the Iranian state and the Iranian people. The vast majority of the Iranian people stand side by side with Israel. They want peaceful coexistence with Israel. They are not the radical imams and radical Islamists that fund terror around the world and want to see the destruction of Israel. The big first step in changing the paradigm and changing the situation was when President Trump sent those B-2 bombers on a 36 or 37-hour mission to bomb the Iranian nuclear sites. That defanged, to a large degree, the Iranian mullahs and the Iranian regime. The next step is somehow the removal of those mullahs and the Islamists from power in Iran. And that is going to really depend a lot on, one, the Iranian people from within, but two, external pressures. So again, in order to whether it be Pakistan, Iran, or Hezbollah, there has to be two pieces to this. The first is the internal piece. The people have to want, the people of a country have to want to have peace. If you have that, and then you can create the external forces that force the Islamists and the radicals out of power, then you have a real hope for peace. And I hope that that happens soon in Iran. It's happening in Lebanon. It's happening in Syria. Hopefully it'll happen to the Palestinian Authority. And I also pray for the people of India that it happens in Pakistan as well.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much for joining me.